Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 434 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, and a very special day in FRL history because on this great day, our friend, Kyle Bratke, a.k.a. Dadke, Stephen Kyle, is back with us after a nice long month away. Bratke, welcome back.
Thank you, guys. It's good to be here, although I must admit I am a little confused.
Why?
Or are we not calling in Willie? Is that...
So he's kind of been... All right, so we got a lot to catch up on, Bratke.
Okay.
Lots happened. Willie quit, so he's not here.
Yeah, no one told me.
Yeah, no, You
weren't on the group email?
Apparently not.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh,
So we gotta streamline communication in the company a little better. But no, so all right, if you're that far behind, there's a lot to catch up on the things you missed. First of all, Colin Puritan is number 4 in the country.
I legit didn't know that till this morning.
Yeah, that happened. Nomad and Sion are considering starting Cameo accounts and giving out motivational, inspirational messages.
That needs to happen.
I think that should happen. Iowa is ranked number 1, and they're currently 37 points ahead of Penn State.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Gary Traub may have a statue of himself erected outside the Cavelli Center.
He deserves it after this weekend.
After this weekend, he has shut that place down twice. Showing me, and then his win over Furman. It was electric.
Garyana Rivera.
How long you been sitting on that one?
I just came up with it.
Garyana Rivera.
Is he the one last year that they literally drove all the way across the country?
Yes.
Because Singletary got sick last minute?
Yes. He drove in his car to Edinburgh or something.
Well, he was at Edinburgh, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Getting ready to wrestle in the Edinburgh Open, and they're like, hey, we need you in Illinois.
What kind of car do you think Gary Traub drives? I feel
a Plymouth.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a Plymouth.
That's what it is.
You know who we bought it from?
Steve Bowman.
Chevy Dodge.
Chevy Dodge. Okay, so that all has happened. Anything to share with us about young Hayden? Miss
No.
Olivia, she doing good?
Yeah, everyone's doing well. It was a fun month. We had family in the entire time, so that was a lot of fun. Seeing everyone meet him, and everyone's doing great.
How's the dog reacted? How's Hank reacted?
At first, he didn't know how to act. He was very attention starved, but now he's all good with it. He's adjusted.
Does Hayden ride him? Because
Not yet.
Hank is a big dog, and
Yeah.
Hayden is still a tiny person.
No, not yet, but I'm sure at some point he will try to.
Yes. Excellent.
Probably around 2 you can really put the squeeze on. Okay, so the big story coming out of this weekend was Iowa waxing Wisconsin mercilessly, taking 9 of 10 with the lone win for Wisconsin coming with Johnny Sebastian beating Cash Wilkie, which is a story unto itself, and I think a domino for the Iowa lineup. But we got to start with 133 pounds. DeSanto does it again. Takes out Seth Gross 6'2". Not really. It's a couple different ways to look at it, right? There's this wasn't a Carver moment. It was just right away, Seth didn't have it for Austin, and Austin was kind of all over him. And man, I could not stop watching the exchange when Austin had him in a front headlock. He circles left and right, and then he tries a flying magic stick that is not there at all, jumping over him. I'm like, what is he doing?
He's been trying it all year.
He's trying it all year. He really wants to hit that move. And the weird thing about it was if you turn your back to an opponent and try to jump over them and it doesn't work, you're getting scored on. But I feel like Seth was like, what is happening? And that just to me is such an Austin DeSanto moment. The energy, the fearlessness, unpredictability. It's why he is, in many ways, the most popular wrestler in college wrestling bar none. He's appointment viewing. You cannot not watch him wrestle, whether it's Todd Not Small or Seth Gross. You have to watch what he's going to do.
I feel like we aren't talking enough about during the Todd Small match when he drew on the mat, showing the ref that he stayed in bounds.
Yes, we did not discuss that effort, but he definitely did draw on the mat. He was the most composed we've seen him after a big win.
Yeah.
He's done that before, but he was very calm after.
I suppose at this point it's old hat for him. We put out that graphic yesterday. He's now beaten 5 NCAA finalists.
Okay.
So to recap,
in his
that's
last 60 matches or so.
He beat Spencer Lee, Pennsylvania State Finals.
Okay, so we're going back to high school?
Well, yeah, for the graphic, we went since his senior year of high school.
Okay.
Then Nick Suriano, Seth Gross, Swan Miocic, Jack Mueller.
Okay.
And then Dylan got All-Americans like RBY, Ethan Lezak. His hit list is insane.
It's a ridiculous hit list. And, man, part of me is like, okay, this is interesting. Other part of me is like, can he do this at Midlands, Big Tens, and NCAAs? Is he just like that much better than Seth Gross? Was that the best version of Seth Gross? I didn't think that looked like the best version of Seth. I didn't think he looked quite right. But I'm not taking away anything from DeSanto's win because I thought it was really impressive. And the things that impressed me the most about it, Seth got in on a shot early. And I won't even say it's like I wouldn't describe DeSanto as like an elite scrambler, but I think he knows the things to do to just like get himself out of situations. So he immediately dives over and just locks around that arm so tight, and I think he's unworldly strong. And there was nothing Seth could do to finish that.
I thought the smart thing he did there was not try to make it his score, right? Like he just immediately was in defensive mode. I'm here to not get scored on and or force a stalemate. Mm-hmm. So he didn't put himself in danger by trying to go, okay, I've stopped it now, I can try to score. He just said, no, I got to shut this down so that I can then get back to our feet and get a restart and get to my offense.
Yeah, I thought what was most impressive about it is he had the one little blip with the magic stick. Yeah, it was like he couldn't help himself.
It was pretty magical though.
Because I was thinking about it on the drive-in this morning. If that hadn't gone well and Gross had gotten the takedown, I mean, he probably just rides him out the rest of the period, and then it's a completely different match.
Right.
But other than that, he wrestled so smart, like picking and choosing his opportunities, and that's not something we see out of Austin DeSanto very often because usually it's just balls to the wall. I'm going to shoot a million times, and I'm either going to score or try to get you hit for stalling, whatever it is. But he picked and chose his opportunities, and he hit a high crotch.
He hit 2.
How about that?
Yeah. He hit it. It looked really nice. And that was the thing for me. It wasn't the near arm, far leg thing that he's so known for. And that he's got the near arm, far leg. He's got like the fireman's
He did
dump.
Get the carry once.
He hit that.
It wasn't
that was his
smoothest one, but
he must be so strong in that with the one that's controlling the arm because guys just fall over. But yeah, he hit that twice. The first time he just like doubled off and just set him on his hip so easily. But there were a couple other times he got in on that shot. And Seth is like progressing, working like you're saying. It's like, this is not good because DeSanto wasn't finishing quick, but Seth wasn't able to counter. He was able to get to positions where it would be stalemated. I thought it was an amazing performance, and as you said, he's now beaten all these.
And then also too, probably worth noting, Austin DeSanto isn't a 2-time All-American because of a third period against Scott Del Vecchio, where he had a lead and went underneath and didn't have the best match tactics, honestly. Mm-hmm. He just tried to lay there for 2 minutes, and credit to the ref, he didn't let him, and he kept banging him for stalling. Mm-hmm. This time, DeSanto was working the entire time and was doing a good job. Obviously, Gross didn't get a turn, but he was working the entire time and almost got a reversal there at the end, but really much better job.
I said when it was 6-2, I was like, this is the Del Vecchio zone. It's like the same thing against a way better top wrestler. And I don't know. I kind of saw it different. I thought he did stall. I mean, I think he...
Oh, I'm not saying he wasn't stalling. I just think he did a much better job of making it look like he was working.
The Del Vecchio one because I felt like, man, I mean, he could have given up 2 or 3 points there and he'd have been fine. I wondered if he could have been hit a couple more times because he didn't even give up a stall point.
I think if I remember right from the Delvecchio match, he was just kind of laying on his belly.
Yeah.
And here, he was like on it. He didn't really lose his base much, and he was like fighting,
trying to get the hands.
Yeah.
It seemed as though Iowa has, in some ways, simplified Austin to, like, hey, these are your strengths, and these are where we can mitigate your weaknesses, and he continues to get better, which is kind of hard when you come in and you're top 5 by December of your true freshman year.
Yeah, there's no question he's better. It's the best version of him we've seen, and now he sits at number 1 in the country. There's no Dayton, there's no Suriano, there's no Lezak, right?
So also from that, what to make of Seth Gross?
Man, it's so weird because, all right, he has the Derek Span thing, which has us to the point that we're worried about a Taylor Lamont match, and we set the line at 2.5, and he smashes Taylor Lamont right after destroying the Farrell field, right? I think I have the order of operations correct there.
No, Span was before, which is why
Span was before Farrell.
Yeah.
And then after Farrell, he smashes Lamont.
Right.
And so you're like, okay, back to business as usual.
At Farrell, Suriano, Darian Cruz, Seth Gross, and Nathan Tomasello all had nothing for Gross, right? Like, those guys couldn't take this man down. And so I have to think this isn't the best version of Gross, right? Because as good as DeSanto is, as high as his pace is, it's not like he's, transcendent on his feet compared to some of these other guys. So I don't know. Like,
I'll disagree.
I think this is not the best version of Seth Gross. I also think DeSanto had this thing planned out really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, he came out, Seth, he tried to get that 2-on-1, and DeSanto was able to clear it. That Gross is so effective from there.
Yeah.
But he wasn't able to get to any of his ties. I mean, it's like Seth took a couple shots, and he missed by so
far.
So much. It was like, whoa, like DeSanto was just locked in on his attacks. And normally Seth can get to everyone's legs.
He scored on one of those 2-on-1s, too, when Seth was trying to, fight for it. He just picked that leg.
Yeah, that's right. He just pulled it. Mm-hmm. That was one of his first. I think that might have been his first
one, I think.
Yeah. It's just, I'm very confused because, so he's 6-1 right now. 5 of his matches, he's got 3 ranked wins, and the other 2, are guys who are going to be national qualifiers. So he's wrestled a good schedule, has looked great to this point outside of the Span match. Against Lamont, you go, okay, now he's not cutting, he's not holding 125.
Right.
Now he's got some pop to him. He's got some spark to him, and I thought, okay, is this kind of going to be we're seeing going forward now that he's been so disciplined for 2.5 months, that now that he can be a little bigger, he's going to have a lot of energy. But I'm wondering if it swung the other way. I wonder if he got a little too big.
Oh.
And kind of had a little rougher cut than what he's been having.
A little too much turkey.
Possibly, because he looked a little. He looked way more sluggish than he did against Lamont. Because against Lamont, he was high energy.
Yeah, it could be a tryptophan issue. He just did not seem. I mean, I'm really curious, but at the end of it all, DeSanto had more.
It's interesting to see these duels after Thanksgiving because not very many teams wrestle. And I was thinking back, man, I think it was 2015. Oklahoma State wrestled a duel in Brookings the day after Thanksgiving when Chance Marsteller was wrestling 57 still.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
That was so mean.
That is messed up.
Spend Thanksgiving in Brookings and then you got to make 57.
That's tough for be away from home and then have to make 57.
Sorry about that, Chance.
Sorry, Chance.
Yeah.
Apologies. So, okay, that was DeSanto. Man, what can you say? He's number 1. We can talk more about the 133 race now and how we read it moving forward. Keep moving on the Iowa-Wisconsin duel. Spencer smashes. Murin is back. Massive shoulder situation thing on his body, but beats a solid Tristan Moran. Took him down. So that was good. I thought Lugo, when he scores, he makes it look so easy, and you're like, well, he let it be a little closer than it needed to be, to where Martin was in on the match tying shot at the end of the match, a match that Lugo dominated. So he feels like he's like a takedown away from just having a lot of not close matches, but it's just it's almost like a little like kind of what we saw with Pletcher against Boffman. It's like he's kind of let him hang around a little bit more than probably necessary.
That's been his MO since Edinburgh. Mm-hmm. Like, close matches.
Yeah.
It seems like, I mean, even in the Dagan match, just kind of shuts down when he feels like he has a match in hand.
I know. But then he's wrestling these guys that are really good.
Yeah.
And just,
it's going to,
like, you wonder
play
if
a fire, you're going to get burnt.
Like, you wonder if he trusts his defense too much. Like, he trusts his baseline too much. His head hands, his ability to get his legs back. But I don't know. I mean, if that's your identity, that's your identity.
Well, he's all that being said, he beat Dagan, who he was 0-2 against last year. So you hold off a Cole Martin, who's a really solid guy. So he's passing all the tests. Young looks great. Marinelli. I mean, it's so funny how much better he is from his feet now than Evan Wick. Like two takedowns to none. He just dominates the takedown battles against Evan Wick now, but doesn't go under, and that makes it a sudden victory match for Marinelli. A match where he kind of dominates, but he doesn't go into. When you're that good on top, it's amazing how much that can make up for other areas. Mm-hmm. Like just the threat. He didn't even have to do anything on top. Right? And do you wonder why didn't he choose top? I guess you can go bottom for the escape and then you're tied, but then you know sudden victory's coming.
Yeah, and I guess also in that sense, the there's value in getting stall calls, right? Especially in an overtime situation. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that may be something that he should have considered. I've also seen him. Here's the thing, though. I feel like Marinelli has more reversals on Wick than escapes.
Mm-hmm. He did at the duel.
In the duel last year, for sure. Yeah.
That match was amazing. That was one of the best matches all last year.
Also and we can
I was gonna
get their head, but when he slapped it, that was one of the most insane moments of that.
Yeah. I mean and Nomad referring to if you didn't watch Alex and Eli, man, you really should check it out. I'm not sure if Big Ten Network has put it up on YouTube or anything like that, but it's on the Fox Sports app, I think they said. Just, I mean, obviously a brutal, difficult story. I mean, basically all of wrestling Twitter was just talking about how emotional it was. It was emotional for me to watch it. And just the strength of Alex, the strength of the Stickley family, Mariah, it was inspirational. I think it's something you show a non-wrestling fan. Listen to this story about these people and just the values that wrestling instills and just how much and just the relationship and you feel so many emotions through it. As a brother, you feel, oh my gosh, can you imagine losing your brother? And as a parent, you think about how uncontrollable this life is and that you can lose someone you love just when you're going to do something that's so great to see. These two get engaged, and you think about it from Alex's perspective, and that he just wanted Eli to be there for that moment, and just everything. And I thought Tom Brands was so cool in it, and the perspective that he lent. So it's an amazing thing, and everyone kind of knows the story of Alex and Eli, but for them to open themselves up to the degree that they did, and this. It's a really well done thing, and they gave access to a lot of their lives, and they have Alex getting engaged in the wedding, and it's really a beautiful story, and I encourage you all to check it out because it was fantastic. Okay, Kimmer, he looks out of control. Yeah. He looks as good as we've ever seen him. I think he still looks big. He's like a big 74. I think it's probably like he's not walking around.
He always seemed to have that kind of lanky frame.
Yeah. He's like Ninja Turtle back. And then 84, Johnny Sebastian.
Does he have a shell?
Yeah, like a shell, like NATO. NATO's got the
NATO did have a Ninja Turtle shell.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Ninja Turtle shell. It's very normal terminology.
Okay, sorry. I missed that while I was out too.
Yeah, we're talking Ninja Turtles are huge now, Bratke. Then no Nelson, and you say, well, what's going on there? I don't really know, but it's not uncommon for teams like Iowa give other guys shots, right? Cash Wilkie's a round of 12 guy in the past. He's been your starter, 5th-year senior, I want to say.
Yep.
So, yeah, you let him go. And he loses to Johnny Sebastian. He gets the first takedown, and then, Sebastian comes back and then takes it in overtime. And to me, it's like it signals – I mean, I'm sure they'll both go to Midlands and see how it goes, but how do you not go with Nelson Brands from now moving forward?
Yeah, watching the Iowa duels this season, 184, it's like this separate soap opera that's like happening apart from everything else in the duel. And I mean, that was kind of the story in my mind, was like Iowa's really running the table in this duel, but for Wilkie to take a loss, I think some Iowa fans are probably secretly, cheering that result on in their, on their couch, because they're wanting to see Nelson back in there, and they know that Wilkie taking that loss maybe makes it more likely that happens. And so, I was like, man, this might be best case scenario for a lot of Iowa fans. I know they want to win every match,
sure,
but I think they want Nelson right now.
I felt similar. I felt like, man, Nelson. I mean, how do you not want Nelson Brands in your lineup? I mean, he's beaten 2 ranked guys. And where he really fits at 84, I'm still not sure. He's ranked 6th right now. I think there's a lot of guys behind him that are going to make life really difficult for him. But at the same time, I think how excited are you to be able to go down swinging with someone like that? That's going to be super offensive. I mean, he's a brand. It's just more exciting, and that's not really fun or fair to Cash Wilkie. But the results are the results, also, right? So I think they've got clarity there. I think. It was kicked around a lot in the offseason with Teasdale coming in. Okay, 33 Gavin, 41 DeSanto. But, I mean, how do you move DeSanto's got to stay 33. And Murin does the thing at 41. I think you feel solid with him. Now, how high can he place? I don't know. But he's right there.
Yeah. And looking forward for them at 84, and I guess slightly at 41, depending on Murin's health, but at Princeton on Sunday, so he'll have whoever they send. I imagine it'd be Nelson if he's healthy. He'll have Stefanik. Then Midlands, so they have a big gap there. Then they have Indiana. Purdue's got Lyon, who's like 23. So really, Midlands is the main opportunity until January 18th.
I mean, Iowa usually makes their decision after Midlands.
Yeah.
Like Midlands is the big measuring stick for them.
Yeah. So I think that's probably how we'll see it play out. And it's got to be a weird situation, right? Like you have a roster battle, okay? One thing, thinking back some old roster battles from other schools and all the, they're biased for this guy. Well, he's literally the son of a coach.
I know. It's tough.
He's the nephew of the head coach. So it's like, it's almost good. It's like, give Cash let him go to Midlands. Like, you don't want to have even that perception of, oh, well, he's getting preference. No, he is doing it.
Well, I mean, so I understand all that with the preference, but it's like, they had Wilkie in the lineup up a weight. Mm-hmm. They had Wilkie in the lineup, last year, like, Cash Wilkie has had plenty of chances. It is not as though Cash Wilkie has been without opportunities in his career. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe you could say this year a little, but we have 3 years of data on this guy.
Yeah.
And he's a damn good wrestler. But if Nelson is the better guy, when they're trying to win a title for the first time in a decade, it doesn't matter if he's coach's son.
You ain't wrong.
No, you telling it. Okay. I feel like no one's talking about Warner. I didn't think he looked great. I know what was up with that match. I feel like he should. I expected him to win by more points. Period. I don't know what.
It's not a bad thing because he wins and he's an All-American, but that's just kind of the match I expect from Jacob Warner. Now he's not going to go out there and blow the doors off you unless he's significantly better than you. A much lower tier guy. I don't know. It's just a very solid performance, I thought.
Yeah, I think. At this point, so he's in year 3, second year as a starter. He's very solid, very good, but maybe not a bonus point monster at nationals. So what they're looking for from him is more consistency and placement, right? Get to the quarterfinals, get to the semis, as opposed to where you're getting pins and tacks.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to need to get points, is in his consistency and victories.
And I figured at this weight, with his caliber, and it could still happen this year, but I figured he would be climbing be more of a bonus guy and become, a guy where we're like, man, this guy could make the finals. And that's still, none of that is impossible at this point. But I figured we'd see a little different Jacob Warner at this point in the year.
It's also an extremely goofy weight.
Oh my gosh! It's
I
so
mean,
goofy.
as it has been for half a decade now. But Holschlag's hurt. Now we
yeah,
assume
he's number 3.
right. We assume he's going to come back, but
Was hurt last year.
Reenan's been hurt for a while. Reenan hasn't wrestled
He's number
this year.
5.
And I was actually just watching the Bader thing last night of how he got hurt. He's been hurt he has been hurt for a year now,
Yeah,
or just about a year.
he's also huge.
Yeah,
He's like 220 pounds.
yeah. He said he was 30 pounds over.
30 pounds over. He was a 74. He's LJ Helbig reincarnated.
And then you've got the next grouping: Schultz, Traxler, Gear, Aiello.
All right, yeah, he's gonna be top 4 pretty easily.
It's just
Yeah, I think Gears is the guy though.
yeah.
I think he's a real. And then heavyweight, Big Daddy Cass. That's what I'm calling him.
Big Daddy
It's
Cass.
Grandmaster.
He
Cass.
did it. No, Big Daddy Cass. That's what I'm going with, and we'll see what sticks.
I know Grandmaster Cass already in use, but I feel like it's been long enough now that it's back in the public domain, and Tony can take it.
Public domain.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cassiopi takes out Hilger and shoots up to number 2 in the rankings. Good match. He gets the opening takedown, kind of throws the underhook by, and gets the finish. And then that was kind of it. Neither he had a hard time getting away from Hilger. How did that go when he was underneath Hilger? He took
trying to
bottom.
remember.
He was riding legs. But he did get away ultimately.
Yeah.
There was the escape, but it looked like he was going to be stuck. Oh, yeah, there was a stalemate that got him a restart, and he was able to get away. But he got the legs in the first time. And Hilger was coming late. That's definitely a match you could see it going differently the next time. But Cassiopi further proves he's the man. He is going to be a force for 4 years at this weight class. And no sign of Gable. Gable comes out of the rankings, and I think that's probably the right move. That's what makes sense. I have no indication we're going to see him this year, right? And when we do, we know where he fits. But for right now, Tony Cassiopi is a potential finalist at heavyweight.
He's number 2.
He's number 2.
Yeah, and obviously we've talked several times about the fact that he's a pinner, right? That he wants the school pins record. And if you're, to the point of how he won the match, Hilger is not necessarily super dynamic on his feet in terms of being able to pile up takedowns. Now, most heavyweights aren't. But if you're looking at replicability of the win, Cassiopi, because we know how good he is on top, if he can go out and persistently get a first period takedown every time, he's going to be in every match, basically except for Kassar.
Yeah, who is maybe just like
Separate himself, I think.
But I do think at the same time, I think he's going to be in a lot of close matches that are like that, because I feel like the field is the Orndorffs, the Halls. Now, the big question for me is Mason Paris.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the guy, and we're going to see him at Vegas. It seems like he's made a jump. We all think he's made a jump this year. He won freaking Junior Worlds, okay? Good tournament. Now, with that, I think maybe he's the number 2 guy, maybe perception-wise, but we've got to see him do it at Vegas, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if you remember their match from high school, it was maybe the most anticipated match of Fargo that year, and Cassiopi teched him in like a minute.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a thing, and it
No.
wasn't just like freestyle stuff. He just took him down a bunch and turned him like.
I think he got a couple gut wrenches.
Okay, but he still took him down
But-
like 2 or 3 times, like
Yeah.
easy.
Oh, yeah, the perception coming out is still, if that's a folk style match, Cassiopi wins it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it will be really interesting to see if they hit just how far Paris has come.
And so that Cassiopi Paris match theoretically will happen. Great job for you out there.
I'm pulling up Cassiopi. Nash Hutmacher. I was trying to pull up Cassiopi.
So they'll wrestle. Iowa wrestles at Michigan February 8th. So they should hit in the duel, but we have a whole month till then. We still have CKLV. We still have Midlands. CKLV, Paris will have in the field
Hall.
Orndorff, Singletary, Indoor Traub. And then those are kind of the main threats. And then at Midlands, Cassiopi, you'll have Stencil, Hilger, Hino, guys like that.
Yeah, so they'll both have their chance. Do they duel Michigan and Iowa?
Yeah, that's what.
He just said
Sorry.
February 8th.
I'm trying to find this. Sorry. It's been a week and change. All right. So that's – but here's my point. Here's the point I want to make about this team race thing. You say 37-point lead for Iowa. They're pulling away. They've got the best team. They've got a better team. And I say very possible. But I also say if you look and this is the story that rankings can't tell, is how sticky guys are at their weight class. By sticky, I mean Anthony Cassiopi is not that sticky at number 2. He could very much end up in the 6 to 8 range, right? And I don't think we would be like, wow, what happened? So I want us to compare the sure things team versus team. And then I think it paints a very different picture because the difference between getting 2nd or 3rd and 6th or 7th in performance-wise is not actually that big of a departure. But the points you earn at NCAAs is huge, right? So, like, you drop in a match in the semis or something like that drastically impacts your team performance. So, when you look at Iowa, the sure things, the sure top 3 things, I think Spencer Lee, right?
Yep.
At least a finalist. You have to figure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you pencil him. I think he's the – if you're –
I mean, I obviously I think he's going to win, but
if you line up –
worst case.
If you line up Iowa and Penn State's teams like this, dodgeball style, and Cale Sanderson gets the first pick, he's going to pick Spencer Lee, I think, because that guy's going to score the most points in NCAAs. Right. Now, is DeSanto a guarantee? I mean, you would be shocked if DeSanto was top 3. I wouldn't be shocked if DeSanto wasn't top 3.
Well, also, going back to 25 for a second, Penn State.
Don't do it like that.
Okay.
I
was going to do a 1-for-1, but okay. Yeah.
I would.
Mickey Philippi. I think that's a tough matchup for him.
Mm-hmm.
It probably is, but okay. Can we move it to top 4? Because I think.
All right, yeah, we can move it to top 4.
Yeah, he's got like Roman Bravo Young is 3rd at this weight, and DeSanto's beat him twice. Yeah, I think Philippi could be a tough match for him. He seems to have probably solved Austin Gomez problem. At least he did it in NCAAs. And then you get down into the Tucker Bridges Sakura realm.
Tucker literally beat him.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I don't see that happening.
His true freshman year when he was at Drexel, and he is clearly a much, much better wrestler.
I don't see that happening again. So I think, for me, I think I would have a hard time seeing him.
Yeah, me
at least
too.
outside the top 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure thing zone for Austin DeSanto.
I mean, he was 5th last year in a much tougher weight.
Right. Facts. Okay. 41, I think Nick Lee is a sure. Well, no, let's do Iowa. So Iowa, I think they have sure things at 25. We'll say 33. Alex Marinelli could win the thing, but what does he come home with the last 2 NCAAs?
Are we not going weight by weight?
6 and 7.
Well, okay. I don't think that Lugo's a sure thing. I don't think Moran's a sure thing. I don't think Caleb Young's a sure thing.
You keep calling Max Muir and Moran.
Yeah, you do.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Fire me.
I'd kind of be surprised if Max Murin gets on the podium.
Yep. Lugo is definitely someone that I don't feel as sure about his points. I could see him right now. He sits at 3. Mm-hmm. No way I'm saying he's...
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I mean, he...
5 to 8.
And when I say no way, I don't say no way he could be top 3. I'm saying no way am I putting my money down that he's going to finish 3rd. No way. 57, Caleb Young. This is a really good weight class, and he's lost to... a year ago he lost to Barone, and he had troubles with Deacon, even though he figured him out by NCAAs. I don't think he's a guaranteed top 4 guy with Carr's emergence, and Hayden Hidley's so good, and who knows what Brady Birdie's going to be. Alex Marinelli, is really tough because he lost to David McFadden the only time they wrestled. But he is 2-0 against Vincenzo Joseph. But his last 2 NCAAs, he's been, outside the top 5, right?
Yeah.
After being undefeated going into NCAAs last year,
Yeah.
And undefeated going into Big Tens
The
his
year
freshman
before.
year. Yeah.
Marinelli's tough for me because like we have all these data points from his regular seasons that make it seem like this guy has to finish in the top 3, right? Like he might win the whole thing, but then those NCAA tournaments they just loom so large in my mind. Like they give me this kind of like feeling in the pit of my stomach. Like I don't know, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. But his results during the regular season are so consistent and so good. But you can't help but have seen his NCAA tournaments the last 2 years, and so he makes me nervous.
Yeah. Now his losses last year at NCAAs, he lost to Chance.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Chance
And Mackay.
Yeah.
And you look at the year before, he got knocked into the wrestlebacks by Isaiah Martinez, and then that Evan Wake put it on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He cradled him a few times, and then I don't remember who was winning that match when the pin happened.
McFadden was winning.
Okay.
He got the takedown. It was a quick pin, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
So I don't know. Listen, I'll just say it. I hope Marinelli wins freaking NCAAs. His story is amazing, and I don't say that often. I don't mind saying it, but I love Dave McFadden. But how do you not want to see this guy win? I totally think he can. He's beaten the number 1 guy, but it's just hard to say. Guaranteed top 3, top 4. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because you would have thought he would be those things going in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done it. You haven't seen it.
He beat the returning champ in the Big Ten finals. There's no way I would love to have seen everyone's predictions last year's going into NCAAs. And that's kind of like the whole point, right? It's like crazy things happen at this tournament every year. 2 good teams and good wrestlers, right? Ronnie Bresser, I was like, dude, he can make the finals. He got 8th, right? Crazy stuff happens. 74, Kimmer. I feel like he's kind of a sure thing.
He is top 3.
He's top 3.
He looks so good. Do you guys worry at all about his injury past though?
Well, that's another thing I wanted to say. You just have to throw injuries out of this like sure thing conversation because yes, everyone is a human and could get injured, and maybe there is more risk with him. But I think he is a sure top 3 guy.
If you're comparing them and Penn State, the injury questions are him and Shakur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe being up at 74 helps that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, not having to cut weight.
Right.
It certainly makes it easier to recover from injuries. And then also just, I don't know, we expected him to maybe be on a pitch count. We haven't really seen that because they've only had a couple duels. But maybe he does take one off here and there.
Yeah. Okay, 84, definitely can't be feeling sure about a top 6 from Nelson. Look
at the guys that are ranked behind him right now.
Shakur.
Taylor Vens.
Bolin.
Hunter Bolin's coming.
Yeah.
Nino
Bonacorsi's
Nino
13th.
Bonacorsi's really good. This is a solid weight through like 15. It's going to be tough for Nelson to get on the podium.
Even some of the guys that you maybe wouldn't consider to be huge like pieces at this weight class, but that are like really, really tough on top. Even guys like Tanner Harvey, Corey Hazel, like these guys that could get on top of a freshman and ride them like crazy. Like those guys feel like threats to me too, even though I wouldn't necessarily peg them as, for sure All-American candidates. They make me nervous against a freshman.
Or a guy like, Jelani. Could Jelani present problems for him? Could Braun, right? Bronigal's going to stand there and hand fight with him for, 15 minutes. Like
one of the Bronicles beat him last year.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was undefeated last year.
No.
I'm pretty sure he had an
But
undefeated.
I think it would have had to have been Danny because he was down in weight.
I don't know why I thought he was undefeated last year as a red shirt.
I'm pretty sure it was at Lindenwood.
Okay, so that's 84. 97, you like Jacob. I mean, you take him because...
I think I'm thinking of Fargo.
Yeah.
He beat Danny last year.
Yep.
But one of them beat him at Fargo. Sorry. Got it mixed up.
Now, 97, I don't say he's a sure top 3 thing, and I don't say Cassiopi's a sure top 3. And what I'll say, Penn State, I think, so that comes to 25, 33, and I'll say 74 are their sure things. We can throw Marinelli on there. It's all our opinions, right? Those are just mine. Those are the sure things. Penn State's got him at 41. He's top 3. Nickley will be top 3. I can't see him not being. Now, you could say to me, all right, well, he was 5th the last 2 years as well. I know that. But I just don't see any scenario he's not top 3. Think I don't know?
Well,
I was there.
yeah.
I saw it. But I just don't see him not being in the top 3. I think he's our pick to win, or you're in mine.
Not anymore. He was.
You changed.
Wow.
We have a change.
I've been saying for about several weeks now. I've said Luke Pletcher is the guy.
I'm pretty sure.
Preseason, I did say Nick Lee.
Man,
The last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been saying Luke Pletcher.
Oh, okay, news to me.
We can run the tape back if you'd like.
We can run the tape back. I'm pretty sure you're just pretty recently said Nick Lee was still your pick, but
Preseason, yes, it was Nick Lee. Absolutely.
How crazy is it? We still haven't seen Chad Red Nick Lee.
that is crazy.
No, we
saw
saw
it last year at Rec Hall.
Yeah.
I just did it.
We all suck.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it. This doesn't count.
No,
This is my first show back.
Yeah.
The comparison
Don't
for Iowa Penn State, so I did stickiness while you guys were discussing it. Number ones, Iowa 125, Penn State 285, 174, 165. Then Kemmer at 74. So, okay, Penn State's big lead. Then you've got 33, which is obviously that's huge because they're going to be right next to each other. 57, 65 for Iowa, 41, 84 for Penn State.
So the sure things. So what I want to say is the sure things for Penn State are 41, 65, 74.
I don't know that you can say 41 though when you've got Pletcher, Demas, McKee, Leith, Red, Wilson.
I want to say it.
That's a
Nick
very
Lee's
good grouping.
He's been destroying people. The problem is, when are we going to see? What's Nick Lee's schedule like? When's he going to see any of these guys?
Well, let's find
He
out.
happens to be in the Big Ten, which is helpful.
He does happen to be in the Big
So
Ten.
he'll wrestle Luke Pletcher.
Penn this weekend. He'll see
This guy
Chad,
beat Joey McKenna.
Northwestern, Rutgers.
Nebraska.
He'll see Chad Red. He'll see Moran, McKee, Pletcher. He hits them all.
So he'll hit them all eventually.
Yeah, January 24th on.
So we'll know. We'll have a good idea then. I don't know. So I feel like my whole point here is, while Iowa has a lot of highly ranked guys, it's very volatile where many of their high ranked guys are.
Yeah.
Whereas there's no scenario where I see Chenzo, Hall, Kassar, or Lee outside of the top 3, especially the big 3, right? But just as well. And then the other thing is Shakur Rashid is a legit finalist too. And maybe most people don't agree with that, but I think when he comes back, I think he's going to be a force, and that's why they're bringing him along, because I think they know what he could potentially do at this weight. Now, no one's beaten Zahid, but
I guess I just want to see him.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, last year, he was all over the place.
Yes.
And I just want to see what he is and how healthy he is.
Shakur and Berge are the keys for Penn State, in my opinion.
Berge's huge. I think he could be a big difference maker for him, and I think those are two guys that are kind of like not in the discussion right now, because for a good reason they're not wrestling, but you can't pretend that they don't exist,
Right.
and that Brady Berge couldn't be a top 5-ish guy for Penn State, and the impact that would have for their team. So while Iowa has opened up a huge lead, I think it's a very, very tight team race still. Everyone here, I think, picked Penn State to win NCAAs. Are you changing that prediction as well?
I certainly don't feel as good as I did. Just the nature of NCAAs. Like several years ago when Ohio State had a similar makeup of their lineup to what Iowa has right now, with 10 potential AAs and a lot of guys in that 5 to 8 range.
Yep.
Now, that Penn State team also had more finalists and more bonus point guys. They're a little more shorthanded.
Kind of
in
balled
that.
out at they had a great NCAA tournament too.
I mean, the only one was Keyshawn was the only one that had a tough one.
This reminds me of that year because we were all on Penn State at the beginning of the year, and then Ohio State came out like a bat out of hell. Remember they won CKLV without like 3 starters?
Yeah.
By like without
Easily.
McKenna, without Snyder, like easily. And we all changed our picks
Yeah.
to Ohio
did not.
State. You didn't?
At no point.
Okay, well I remember the other 3 of us did because we were like, this team is really good. And then by the end of the year, I think we were all back on Penn State. And It's just like Penn State is going to get better as the year goes on. I don't know. I don't feel super confident picking Iowa right now.
It's also the look. Last impression, Iowa 32-3 over Wisconsin. Penn State lost to Arizona State.
Yeah.
Now, those results will have little to do with NCAA's, but
none of those results. Yeah,
the perception is they factor in, right? It's the last thing you saw.
For sure. No, I know. I just don't know if I'm willing to get off my Penn State pick.
I'm not either because, I mean, helps on the way with 57, 84.
Possibly 97.
I don't think so.
Do you make the change?
So he's referring to Connell. Kyle Bratke wants to chuck his fellow Kyle to the scrap heap and pull out Michael Beard right now. And I don't understand that.
What? You don't understand it?
Well, okay, I understand. You know what? I understand you. But I don't think it's wise. I don't understand making the move now. It makes no sense to me to pull Beard's red shirt. None. At this point in the season.
If you send him to scuffle and he flips a switch and dominates his way through the scuffle unattached, then maybe you reconsider. But yeah, I mean, he lost to Bolsek earlier this year, and that's a guy that he beat last year. So it doesn't seem like Beard has made the progress that you would want to have seen from him to even consider a move like this. And it doesn't feel like a move that they make unless they're pretty sure, a guy can score serious points.
I think you do so. Right, Spade was talking about Rutgers sending guys unattached to journeymen, so they didn't count on the dates.
Yeah.
I think you send everyone, if you're Penn State, you send everyone to the scuffle that is not wrestling in Fort Worth and wrestle them all unattached. And go,
Mark Hall's dad
figure it
can
out.
Coach them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go figure it out. Look, this is your opportunity.
He will go by pants because he only wears shorts.
And he will coach them.
And then he will coach them.
And they will all borrow North Forsyth.
And I was just about to say, Mark also had to borrow.
Yeah.
And they will, the Hall family came back with a lot more clothing than they came to Chattanooga with that year. And they will all beat Kyle Krushmer in the Southern Scuffle Finals.
That was so funny. I was doing Flow Zone. The match, Mark Hall's first match, was right in front of me. And I'm like, this dude doesn't have a coach and is wearing what? And I didn't know it was North Forsyth at the time. I was like, what is this singlet?
What is happening? Yep. So, yeah, I do agree with that. Or I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. I'm sure they'll have their own. Maybe they don't think that's necessary.
At this point, Beard might not have made the jumps that you want him to make, but I think he is wrestling better than Cannell, and I think gives you a better chance to score points at the NCAA tournament.
One thing that is very interesting, probably to me and me alone. Okay,
very
Penn State does not, from their own from their own social media and from their own communications, they do not talk about anyone but the starters. They don't talk about red shirts. They don't talk about signing day. Nothing, except this year. They have been putting out information about how their red shirts have been doing at open tournaments, how they're doing at Matttown, how they're doing. There was a couple earlier in the year. Would Beard go to? Clarion, which makes me wonder if they are, if that part about keeping them all in red shirt is they're trying to build that class all together, and keep them all together, and kind of build them up to their fans ahead of time.
Possibly.
Maybe it means absolutely nothing. But I feel like it does because I cannot remember them putting up stories about how their red shirts did at tournaments.
What's going on Facebook?
You want to know how good Iowa fans feel about this team?
Probably pretty damn good.
Yeah, someone mentioned team point record.
Oh wow! Wow.
Okay.
So I looked at. I got a chance to kind of look at the way that this season has shifted in that comparing Iowa has kind of jumped into first article yesterday, and it's crazy that there's been a 54-point swing in the team point standings, right? So Iowa has caught up and then gone way past Penn State, but one of the ways that they did it that I think we're not talking about is a lot of weight classes. Things have sort of shifted in other parts of the country that have nothing to do with Iowa or Penn State that Iowa has benefited from. So at 197, for example, Warner hasn't beat anybody ahead of him to move from 7th in preseason to 4th. It's just that Connell has had a slow start. Like, other guys have been beat, and he's kind of naturally drifted up. Holschlag's hurt.
Connell's dropped from 3 to 21.
Right. You look at other weight classes, like at 49, Lugo started 6th. He's got the one win over Dagan, but also Zach Earl got beat, Max Thompson got beat, and so he's sort of drifted up. And those are big points. And that's happened kind of throughout. So even though I think we need to talk about and think about, like, what are the sure things for Iowa and for Penn State this year, it does feel like a year where there are so many fewer sure things nationally in a lot of these weight classes that it's like a lot of how these guys do is going to come down to, like, things totally outside their control. I know that happens every year, but it feels like what side of the bracket these guys get on or those kinds of things are going to make it a huge difference. And I don't think that favors either Iowa or Penn State. I think it's going to be wild. I think that's what makes this season unique from some recent seasons. And I think, there are fewer kind of sure things when I look through the Iowa list, but also, like, these weight classes are up for grabs. And, I'm curious of how a lot of that's going to play out.
I would like to remind the Iowa fans that they hold the current team point record, and it's 170 points. And you will not get to 170 points. Nor will you get to second place, which is 158, which is also an Iowa team.
Yeah.
That is completely unreasonable.
What's the most points a Kale era Penn State team has earned?
2017 was 146.5, and that was the 5-champ team.
5-champ team.
That's how you get to
That's half your
140
team.
points.
That's
You get 5 champs.
You get 5 champs. They're gonna need something like that.
97 Iowa, 5 champs. That's number 1. 86 Iowa, that's number 2, 5 champs. 83 Iowa had 4 or 5 champs. They're number 4.
What did 05 Oklahoma State have?
05 Oklahoma State had 5 champs. They're number 5, 153 points.
Yeah.
You have
So it
currently
pretty much takes 5 champs.
It
you
takes
currently
5
have
champs.
one guy who we very strongly believe
Will
is
win.
champ, and then Kemmerer.
DeSanto.
But I'm saying Spencer's the most sure.
Sure.
Kemmerer's the second most sure to make finals. But then
Or Marinelli, maybe.
Then you have DeSanto Marinelli that can
But then
easily
DeSanto
make it.
Marinelli-
Or Cassiopi.
right, they can
All right, so they're
they
gonna
can
have 5
make
champs.
it.
They're going to have 5
I'm
champs.
with
They're gonna have
no-
5 champs.
I'm with
I'm
Nomad.
in.
They could put 4 or 5 guys in the finals. Just don't see them winning 4 or 5 weights.
How many Hodges are we looking at?
At
here?
least 3.
At least 3 Hodges.
3 Hodges.
2 of them are gonna be DeSantos.
A couple 4-time undefeated champs.
Couple 4-timers. Yeah. Okay. I don't know where we were actually going, but we got there. That's for darn sure. Okay. Any other thoughts on the Penn State Iowa team race? We'll talk about it all the time.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
pretty much nonstop. I want to talk about a few things from the weekend.
A few items from Nomad.
Okay, still no Austin O'Connor.
Well, he has a broken or had a broken arm.
You were the one that said via a text from, I assume,
Tony Ramos.
that he would be back that weekend.
Yeah, well, he didn't come back. What am I supposed to do when the coach says he'll be back? He's
Speaking
gonna
of
come back.
people that haven't wrestled, there's a few missing Cowboys.
Where's
G Feller and Joseph.
Yeah, this is a missing persons report.
We're putting out
This is the milk carton.
Yes, I love this. We're putting out APBs on Caden G Feller, Austin O'Connor, Joseph Smith. Spay is about ready to take out Matt Finley from the rankings.
He should take out Finley. I mean,
He should.
I think so. I'm also.
Where are
How
you?
long we keeping
are you
Gomez
okay?
in?
Huh?
How long are we keeping Gomez in?
Are we going to see him this weekend? Maybe, sort of.
I think.
Words concussion.
Man.
Oh, I didn't. God, you guys don't tell me anything.
Well, we tried. I thought we got you. We told you about Gary. We told you about Parrington. We told you about Willie. I thought we hit the big ones.
Mikey Carr. Haven't seen him.
Yes, where's he at?
Rayvon Foley was he just competed in something, but he could be redshirting.
No.
These are all
Why
these
would
are all
he
like
redshirt?
Why would you
All-American caliber
redshirt
guys.
Rayvon Foley?
Let the man wrestle.
Let him go. Okay, so yeah, those are the missing persons. We hope that you're safe. If you're out there, if you're listening, please call.
Rayvon Foley just dominated the Lake Erie Storm Open.
Right, but he's unattached.
Well, why wrestle attached at the Lake Erie Storm
No,
Open?
I know. I'm just saying, like, I think he could be. It's a possibility he redshirts.
But yes, for sure. So looking forward, we did our APBs. Please return safely home. I don't think Austin Gomez is anywhere near ready to wrestle. I don't know if he's like practicing again yet.
Yeah.
He was when I was there 2 weeks ago. He was not practicing. He was watching.
And also, I don't know. I'm super conservative as it pertains to concussions. Like, if the thing is 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Just
yeah.
You know who?
You only get one of those.
You know who's
brain
about to be
things.
back though? Hokett for Heisman.
Hokett for Heisman. Did he win
Yes.
Heisman yet? We don't know.
Well,
yet.
So-
he will in a few weeks.
So
Okay.
Neville's is redshirting and Hokett's going 285.
Yes.
Okay, good to
That's-
know.
That's
Thanks for
happening.
telling me.
Yes, now you know that.
Well,
So
I just
part of
learned
the
that
purpose
last
of the
night.
show is to reacclimate Kyle with college wrestling and what's happening.
I did feel very out of the loop because when you're in the office and you're around everybody, you learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just because everyone's texting, talking to people, and everything, and
You missed a lot.
not everything gets put in our group chat, which is what I was pretty much relying on for the past month.
Yeah.
So I did miss a lot.
Well, Sebastian Rivera is wrestling at the Puerto Rican trials.
Yeah, I heard that. Nomad told me that because
Yeah, that was what I had to get you caught
Which
up.
Yeah.
feels like that's real. There's actually a trials.
Yeah. Jimmy Kennedy will not be at CKLV because he will be with Sebastian because he needs a coach down there.
I guess so.
So
What about Joey Silva, your best friend?
My best friend Joey Silva
Or your son.
He is getting it. I think we'll see him eventually, but right now he's getting his affairs in order. Sounds like Coach Bormet said basically like academic stuff.
Tough to win NCAA is not in the lineup.
Well, yeah, he's got to be licking his chops when Austin DeSanto #1. He's like, hey, I beat that
Is he
guy.
gonna go 33?
Probably not, but at the same time, no. I hope we do see Silva at some point. He's super good.
I do too.
What in my face? You're kind of a hater.
No,
son.
no. I just said he couldn't win NCAAs. I'm sorry for saying someone couldn't win NCAAs. It's really hard to do.
Only because he's not in the lineup. It's the only reason.
Michigan, man, even knowing that they had all these Olympic redshirts, their lineup still took a turn. Medley 25, like their CKLV
Ellie's
lineup.
pretty good.
Yeah,
I like
him a lot. Yeah.
Medley 25, Acid 33, Cole Matten 41.
Where's Drew? Is he redshirting?
Drew is, I don't know.
All right.
But
Where's
Cole
Drew Matten?
Cole is entered
We
at
just stumped Nomad.
Cole is entered for CKLV. Which hey, by the way, CKLV registration is publicly available on Flow Arena.
Wow.
Go check it out. Brackets
Via
will be
the
on
Freedom
there.
of Information Act.
Set your
We had to
text
file a FOIA, but we got him.
set your text alerts now. I think Bray, we should do a text alert article.
Yeah,
We've been
yeah.
talking about those. I think those are fun.
It's gonna be incredibly long. You're gonna be getting a lot of texts.
We
this weekend.
could maybe limit it to like
Re-up
11.
that cell
We'll do,
phone
like
bill.
Ooh,
11.
that's a good idea.
What?
Great content idea. Like who you should set your text alert
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
We've been doing
genius.
that. Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but
Brilliant
you're
brain
saying we got
science.
to whittle down the field to 11 guys that we're gonna set text alerts for?
Yeah,
That's-
because then it's
that's
just
tough.
set your text alerts for everyone, and that's not fair.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just got to be a limit.
Benjamin Lamantia at 149.
Nope.
This
not,
is
Not
him.
getting a
not-
text.
Not him.
This I know. I'm just saying this is not the Michigan lineup that I expected.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Other things. So we'll see. Everyone wants to know. I mean, Sebastian Rivera and Nick Soriano could like drastically change
Oh,
two
yeah.
weight classes, but
Let's
we
get
don't know
into
what's
that.
going to happen. We don't know.
Let me tease you with this.
We got a classic tease here.
Sebastian Rivera versus Austin DeSanto. Oh my God!
At Midlands, that could happen.
Just two savages.
Just Rivera's punching himself in the
Yeah.
face.
DeSanto's getting slapped silly in the corner
Yeah.
before the match.
I'm also down for Rivera Soriano second semester if Soriano comes back. And either
Yeah.
way, 25 or 33 doesn't matter. Pick
Now
one.
hold on.
Yeah.
What if things get really wild and those
Oh,
guys
boy.
come back at 25, and so does Vito?
There's
about
kinda
that?
some veto smoke swirling about that he may not be long for his Olympic
I feel
red
like there's
shirt.
just smoke about everybody. Like a result happens, and then they're like,
Well, maybe we'll
this
see
guy. "Yeah, this guy says he wants back in the mix."
Yeah, I kind of think Vito.
I mean, if you're Rob Cole, you look at this team race, and if you're wanting a trophy, that third place spot, you think about the guys they've got inactive right now. You could easily do. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you throw Max back in the lineup and Vito.
Oh, well, okay. If we're throwing Max in there,
You throw Max
Yeah,
and Vito back in the lineup.
He's saying
and-
go all in.
Yeah.
my son.
Push
What
your
if they
chips in the
just what if
center.
they just reverse course and went all back in.
Yanni goes.
Yeah,
enters
everybody
the
goes
NWAs.
again. Yeah.
Yanni feels like a little less likely, just given his Olympic aspirations. Not that his are more real than other people's, but
They are
they're kind
more
of more
real.
than
Penn
other
State has
people,
no
right?
shot. I told
They're more real.
Caleb
more-
was
okay, they're
asking
more
me
real.
about 184, and he's like, how can Nelson Brands go? Or he's asking about the Cornell duel versus Ohio State. And I was like, well, Cornell doesn't have a lot of other guys. Max Dean's taking an Olympic redshirt, and my son was like, that doesn't sound. He's like, I don't think he has a good chance of making the team. I was like, no, he will not make the Olympic team.
Can we talk about the score graphic they put out after the duel, Cornell?
The pettiness, yeah, I quote tweeted that. Cornell loses to Ohio State soundly, 23-9, and they use a picture of Yanni versus McKenna from last year's NCAAs as a little barb.
Can I just say, I love it.
I love it.
There was,
Yeah.
I think Arizona State did something.
had the "We are
Look.
leading at the break."
All right, let me just put this out there.
Whoa.
This didn't age well crowd. Y'all are lame. Who cares?
It also
in the
did
moment,
age very well because Arizona State won
yeah,
the duel.
that's
so-
true. So that first thing.
Suck
Second
it.
of all, who cares? In the moment, like just say
funny.
say whatever. Yeah, be funny. And especially if you're a college team social media account, poke fun at everyone. Like it's Twitter. Who cares?
It's about time college wrestling got on the pettiness level of college football. You see
Yeah.
this all the time. It's hilarious. It's what makes it great.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's a little barb. It's a little thing. It's all in good fun, I think.
like
yeah.
like not that they would, but I said that at the time when the like we are leading at halftime. If Penn State come back and won, they could have been like whatever final score, forks down. It would have been fine. It would have been great.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's each team's individual thing, but I am all in on teams being goofy and weird and poking fun at their opponents.
Yeah. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, right, dude. You're not allowed to have fun wrestling.
No way. So yeah, we don't
Act
know
like you've been
where
there before, Nomad.
which way.
I also don't like. I'm just going to quick another thing here. I also don't like when you're at a home duel, you have to be 100% pro for your team and not against the other team. Screw that. Home field advantage is being belligerent towards the other team and hating on the other team and getting in their mindset.
You had to do that.
Oh, that is a very common thing. Like, oh no, we only root for our team here. We don't root against the other team. Screw that. Root against them hard. Get in their heads. Make them feel terrible about themselves. Don't do some of the things that they used to do to like when Juan Dixon was at Maryland. They used to
Which we all know.
No, but I'm saying that's the one that always comes to my head because that was like the first time that I learned how like mean people could be at those things. And they're like, your mom has AIDS or whatever. Don't do that type of stuff. That's what I'm saying. There's a line. I'm using that as an example to say
AIDS
there's a
is
line.
always the line.
I'm saying there's
The
a
line is
line.
always AIDS.
Is it all medical conditions or is AIDS?
However,
I think.
However,
if
like,
your-
if someone's-
your uncle has scurvy, you can let that out.
like
Okay.
like let's say
What if
I'll-
it's a fact?
It's a fact.
I'll pick Sebastian because I know like he won't get bad. Let's say Sebastian Rivera is like deathly afraid of spiders. He's probably not. But like let's just say he's deathly afraid of
But
spiders.
he might
and,
be.
And right, and Carver Hawkeye they have like huge spider signs and they're like throwing like toy spiders out. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely incredible.
If they did Spider Giveaway Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That kind of stuff. Love it.
Hypothesizing about Sebastian Rivera's arachnophobia was something I just did not see coming for this episode.
He seems
The
least like this,
Cameron
I'll pick
Crazies,
him.
they do like research on the
Yeah.
opposing
Yeah.
teams that come out and give out like sheets, and then a lot of times they'll have props to like mock them and stuff.
They get their social security numbers and steal their identities.
I don't know if you guys.
That's a
talked
good one.
about
I
it.
like that one.
Ultimate home team advantage.
I don't know if you guys talked about it, but it was also awesome to see the Arizona State students rush the mat.
Yeah,
That was really
that should be a
cool.
thing.
Yeah, it was also cool that they were mat side and like Reb side. I'm pretty sure they were on the side of the Penn State bench.
Yeah, well, that had to be.
We
fun.
can end tangent hour here, but
I don't know why we would.
if LSU wins the national title, will they let the band play neck?
Oh, wow.
The band will play neck.
Yeah.
They have no say. No one has say.
one
They
has
will
say.
play neck.
I think
Joe Burrow will tell them to play neck, and they'll play neck.
Trump will get involved if need be. So we don't know about Soriano yet. If he's coming back, what weight he would come back, but
Probably 41.
That was one of Spade's FRL questions.
yeah, I mean I don't know. I think maybe post. I think we'll have a better idea post Fort Worth, right? Because we will see our good friend Nicholas there, and we'll see how he does there. Also, yeah, we could have Nick Soriano, Spencer Lee at the
in Fort Worth.
Oh,
Texas.
man.
So, are you going to that?
I don't know.
Oh,
Just drive them all up.
I'm gonna see who's registered now.
Wow.
As you were.
Did you file the Freedom of Information Act?
No Freedom of Information Act needed here.
Okay. Anything else you want to get to? A little Hodge talk, because I think
It's pretty clearly Austin DeSanto for Hodge. Next topic.
Austin DeSanto, the Hodge. So with Gross out of the mix, Zahid number one in the Hodge rankings.
Yes.
Spencer Lee's in there.
I have him. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna have him number 2. I'm coming out with pre-CKLV Hodge rankings, and the way it's looking right now, Zahid, Spencer, Mark, and then it's kind of a question because DeSanto obviously has like the
Quality
best
win
of the year, but no title. So then you got Chenzo, and then Kassar and Chenzo really haven't wrestled much.
Who's attempted the most leaping magic sticks so far this year?
That's criteria
That is the
F.
sixth. That's the sixth criteria.
I would like to
Yeah.
add a new criteria, and it's when teams forfeit to you,
Oh,
when they don't wrestle you in a dual meet.
I like that. Who'd that happen to?
Did you?
Zahid Valencia.
Zahid.
Oh, yeah.
So watching the
He should get more points for that.
yeah, that's a double.
Yeah.
watching the Mako Flow film, I was kind of reminded of
that's like the Mako rule.
Yeah.
He's like, a lot of people get pissed off. I took it as a tremendous compliment that they were scared to put someone out against me.
I love my favorite line that is like, hey, just take it easy on my guy.
I don't want him to get hurt.
You probably shouldn't put him out there. That's like the most awesome line. Just how he delivers it. It's like very matter of fact. You probably shouldn't
put him out there.
He wasn't even trying to be scary. He's like, this is the reality.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a herder of people. This is my thing. Do you not know anything about me?
Espo's such a star in that because he provides such interesting perspective, like from the Blair days and Oklahoma State, and he's like, I don't know. Just I love Espo in that. So,
all right, get some questions from friends. Is it that time?
I think we
Will
have
you allow it?
covered.
Any more
everything.
Juan Dixon hypotheses or?
T-shirts
That
you
was the
wanna bring
first
up?
time that I was like, okay, that's a bit.
Nomad, how would you feel about opposing teams' fans planting evidence of crimes against the players who are coming to the field?
Yeah.
What sort of crimes are we talking?
Any and all. Human trafficking.
That's the toughest evidence to plant.
Are we talking felonies?
Yes, felonies. Go big or go home.
Ugh.
I think it's all in good fun. Are sports not supposed to be fun?
Yeah.
What's more fun than framing someone for human trafficking?
What's more fun than seeing a guy
Colombian
carted off
soccer,
in
I think they
handcuffs
actually do that.
right after he comes off the mat?
What's better than this?
What's better?
Guys being dudes.
All right. Question for friend. This is from Nunu at super_Nunu7. Logan Stieber in his prime versus Yanni now in folk style. Who you got? Oof.
Logan Stieber was a tremendously
I
good.
think I would take Logan.
Do you think Logan Stieber in his life lost double-digit folk style matches?
Wow. In his.
I think no.
He might not have, because I remember coming up through the youth circuit. I used to wrestle Hunter all the time. Logan was always older, but he just murdered everybody.
Because I thought
I think the answer is no.
Because I thought the thing with Logan was because it's OAC, right? Bratke is the middle school.
Yeah.
I thought he was 3-time undefeated OAC. The one loss to David Taylor in high school, and then 6 losses counting the CKLV in college.
Yeah, I'm thinking he did not lose.
So then did he have 4 losses from like 1st grade to 5th grade?
That's what we
I'm
got.
gonna say no.
Jeff Stieber, if you're out there listening, Logan, can someone confirm?
Yeah.
We need to get to the bottom of this. Did Logan lose 10 times in his life
That's
in
crazy.
folk style?
And he has like 700 matches in his life, right?
Yeah.
Like folk style matches. Yeah, that's insane.
Okay, so I've got Logan.
Folk, yeah, Logan.
Yeah, he's so. Yeah, Logan.
That bar. Oh my god.
He's so good.
Oof.
This guy, why does Nick Lee not get enough respect? He beat McKenna as a true sophomore. He's ranked high, but Askren said he hasn't made the jump. We'll take that up with Askren. You guys reluctantly pick him, too. I didn't reluctantly pick him. Zane, Nickel, Nolf won in their 3rd year at Penn State. Okay.
They
Well,
also won years before that too, though.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess the enough respect is a sliding scale, right?
Sliding scale.
Like, do we give Nick Lee respect as a shoe-in NCAA titleist? No, if that's your level. But in terms of enough respect of this guy's a surefire All-American, this guy's an incredible wrestler, this guy is certainly good enough to win a national title. Yeah, I think we do.
It sounds like you just have unreasonable expectations about what
I
respect
mean,
is.
I think last year we were at the beginning of the year we were like, yeah,
Watch out.
Nick Lee's coming. He's coming, and then it just never really materialized. I mean, he beat Joey McKenna, but then
he lost to Moran.
right,
He lost to Demas.
He loses to Demas at NCAA's. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's a sliding scale. Like, I think we all respect him as All-American. Like,
Yeah.
we'd be completely shocked if we did an
the thing-
All-American, but
The thing about Nick Lee is like when he wrestles anybody below his level, it's a bloodbath. Like he just
Yeah.
murders them.
Yeah.
But then when he gets to guys on his level, it's super tight and it could go either way. So I mean that's what's hard to say. Oh, this guy's definitely going to win a title because when he gets in those close matches with that 4, 5, 6 top guys in the country, it's going to be close. You give him anybody other than that, and yeah, he's going to make it look like a crime scene. But
Yeah.
I also
We don't even have to plant the evidence. it's all right there. It's on camera.
I also
saw it,
think
Nick.
respect-wise, must watch always.
yep.
Yeah.
Very offensive, and then in those tight matches, like he'll have crazy scrambles with guys and try to put up a lot of points. So, yeah, I don't know. Respect is a sliding scale.
No, you disrespected him. All right. Notice that. So this is from Tony Meister. Astute point from Tony. Notice that DeSanto usually wins the first meeting with top wrestlers, but loses the second. Micic, Lizak, Soriano. Is that you need to feel his pressure wants to adjust? Do you think that will happen with Gross as well? I do think Gross beats him at some point this year. He will potentially have 3 more cracks at him. I just have a hard time seeing DeSanto beating Seth Gross 4 times in a calendar year.
Yeah, it's also. I mean, I think it also has to do with DeSanto is not necessarily super dynamic in the sense that from match to match, you're kind of going to get the same. Like, you're going to get that same DeSanto in March. So that might have something to do with it. Also, these guys are amazing.
He also did then beat Lizak again.
Right.
Yeah.
So he lost to him, or he beat him.
He lost to him at Big Tens, and then beat him at NCAA's.
Yeah.
And Soriano match was insane.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That was bananas.
And Nick clearly was wrestling in a much better place in March than he was in that January swing where he lost. Was it back to back?
Yeah.
With Fix and then
And
DeSanto?
the only person to
lost to
beat.
Micic.
Oh
Not
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, and the only person to beat Soriano twice is Spencer Lee. 7 years apart, 6 years
Jeez.
apart.
Wait, who?
The only person to beat Nick Soriano twice is Spencer Lee,
Yeah.
and those matches were many years apart.
Yes.
I do think though that Tony Meister's point here, is interesting. That like it must be an experience that you've never felt before when you wrestle Austin DeSanto.
Has
So
to be.
I do think you felt that. All right, now you have some information to work with, but it's got to be like getting caught in a tornado or something. Like, wow, never felt that.
But then he's also like he lost to Mueller and then beat him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there was another one last year.
Well,
that I
Gomez.
can't remember. Yeah, Gomez. Right, that was the other one. So
It's happened on the other side. RBY got much closer. He got destroyed. It kind of got close at Big Tens, but it looked like it was going to be a tech.
I want to ask this because I think it was Todd Small doing this. Wrestling with the
elbow?
one.
Yeah.
Did you get hit for stalling for doing that?
No. I don't think you
That's,
should get for stalling for
that's
that.
Dake against Ringer.
Yeah.
Looks like he's reaching for the guns.
I know.
Elbow
You're
back.
just like you're not engaging.
There's other reasons to get hit for stalling. Call for stalling in that. It is simple.
I don't think you should do it as soon as like they put their hand behind their back or whatever.
I feel similarly I feel about that like when a guy wrestles on a knee. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
Shouldn't let that go on too long.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to do that and just literally hide that, you need to be the point of wrestling is to score points, right? Not to prevent the guy from scoring on you. You're supposed to be trying.
I guess
to
that's
score.
my point. Is like they're not trying to score; they're just trying not to get scored on.
Yeah, good point. No, hit him for stalling. I like the quick stall. Has Nomad ever attempted to jump over an opponent like DeSanto did?
No, I go under, not over. Backdoor, Iranian finish. Always.
No, you did a rolling. You did a front flip out of a ball and chain.
Yeah. Did you go under his legs when you did that, or was it just like you just?
No,
Kinda
it was
broke
like
his grip.
jump.
Yeah.
So much force generated.
You should have gone between his legs.
Wow.
Very random thing I told you about. Steve Fittery randomly showed up at my high school and taught.
Does he still look like Logan Stever?
Well, he said Logan Steve looks like him because he's older.
Good point. Counterpoint, Steve Fittery. That's why.
But that was like one of the first things he said to me. He's like, "All right, we gotta
get this out of the
You
way."
gotta show me this jump to ball."
So he knew about it?
Yeah.
You showed Steve Fittery how you did this?
No, I don't think I ended up doing it because at the time I was like, I was wearing jeans and whatever. But
He
Steve
later
Fittery's-
last doubled you, did he not?
oh yeah,
Oh boy.
I thought he completely busted my lip open.
I'm glad we got you back.
Yeah, Steve Fittery though, awesome coach. And if you're in the Maryland area, I recommend going to his club.
He seems like one of the nicest human beings on the planet.
Oh my god.
Funny,
Awesome.
Funny
So
story
nice.
about him.
So awesome.
My redshirt year at Ohio, we wrestled American, and to Nomad's point about like hostile crowds, the wrestlers that aren't competing for Ohio are just like ruthless, and they sit like close to the opposing team's bench, and so the whole duel there just giving it to American, and then Fittery goes out and he did like a cement mixer like standing. Like he had a kid in the front headlock, like, but they weren't on the mat, and then he hit it and pinned him, and then he came over to the student section and was like, "How'd you guys like that show?" And like it was like, but he was like laughing and like it was like
Yeah.
playful. It was awesome. It was really cool. Everyone was like, "Damn, that was cool." He's awesome.
He did some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He was wild.
Well, and that's what he was showing that series because it's basically like from his one shot. So it's like, okay, you take the shot, like go to single, go to double, get pulled up, and go into the trip, or if they stay down, go into the mixer, the gator roll.
Classic.
So
It
like
was-
from that one setup, he's got 4 or 5 different finishes and all different kinds of finishes too. It was really cool to see.
We were just like, "Hey, good match. That was cool."
Nah, okay. Checks out.
Yeah.
Good on top too.
Yeah.
Steve Fittery, great wrestler.
He was killing people that year. That was the year I'm pretty sure he, Adam Hall, and David Taylor were all undefeated going into NCAAs. Adam Hall got the 1.
Fittery got 2.
Fittery got the 2. David was the 3.
And Bubba J was 4, and it was Bubba versus David in the finals, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's hard to have 3 undefeated guys.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty rare.
yeah, because at some point they wrestled each other before, but it worked out that way. Other good questions. You see any in here? There's quite a few. Someone asked if Mariah Marinelli would beat you in a wrestling match, Nomad.
So,
How many switches you would hit?
Let's say yes, just because of the Alex Fexy. Yeah, sure. Brothers, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she had a training partner with
is.
Eli and then Alex that,
Who was it? Somebody was saying
iron sharpens iron, Nomad.
she was like into it in the Wisconsin match. Which
She
makes sense.
was, dude.
She was. It was really funny. They had a camera on her, and Marinelli got that first takedown. And when you see like coaches like do the keep
Yeah.
them down, she's immediately just started doing it. It was awesome.
Yeah, she had no nerves. Like I feel like that's the stereotype is like the nervous wife sitting over there. No, she was like coaching. Like, you get this win, or we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, we got issues. Okay, let's talk about this. Wait, where is it? Okay, using CP's criteria for pound rankings that values the more quality wins you have, should DeSanto be ranked number 1 pound for pound? Name someone who has better wins than Gross, Soriano. He says Lee here, but that can't count. Miocic, Mueller. Don't think Zahid has that much. Zahid's got several Mark Hall wins.
Here's the problem also when you are of that caliber. Zahid only has 1 win over an NCAA champ because he himself has hoarded all of the NCAA titles.
Out of pure selfishness.
Yeah. So that's part of it is DeSanto has beaten guys who have done better than him.
Let's just put him number 1.
Yeah.
Until proven
I don't
otherwise.
see the harm.
And it's
Shoot 'em up.
the criteria is not purely. I mean, you have to factor in losses as well, right? So I think that's
Why?
the other. Why?
Why?
Are we okay?
That seems very biased.
Are we not including electric factoriness?
Yeah, you're not even
Calling his
considering-
own stalling, drawing the line, jumping,
Reverse
leaping
Broncos.
magic sticks. I mean, there's anybody wants to watch more than this kid.
Yeah,
He is fascinating.
And then he backs it up and he beats people.
he does.
He is truly fascinating.
Now, if it's not if it's not pound for pound, but just a per pound ranking, I think his energy per divided by 133 is probably better than Zahid's divided by 174, right? Or 184, right?
No, now it's 184.
Big
Story
number.
ratio
he just-
even further out of whack.
He really played himself with that.
Can you give? This is more to Nomad, I think. Can you give stats that piss off Spencer Lee a weekly segment?
I don't.
Dude, yeah, you weren't here
If
to answer
I
for
am-
your crimes last
if-
week.
If I cause Spencer Lee to tech or pin everyone in the first period and have the greatest historical season we've ever seen, then yes, I will fall on that
Well,
sword.
he already did do that, but
You know what I mean?
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
It is pretty crazy though, like the amount of people that like are chirping back like on Twitter that like don't understand like the point of what that article was about.
The thing that I thought was strange about it was like we acknowledge every time we bring this up, we acknowledge now part of the reason he doesn't score the last second or third period points is because the matches don't freaking go that long.
Right.
But the matches that do, then there's some analysis to be made. So I don't know.
yeah. Well, you got us in trouble at Names Iowa. Made me feel like a jerk in front of Tom Brand, so thanks for that.
What did they say?
Flow
He said,
wrestling.
I want Nomad's head on a spike.
All right, well,
He said, bring him here.
well, I'm going there in a few
No,
weeks.
he said
So,
Flow Wrestling. It's not
but I'm
gonna
saying,
be
did
second,
he
third
say
period
this
points.
separately from the press conference?
No,
he said
it was in the press
just in the
conference.
press
All right, okay,
conference.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you know. I know that article was not well received.
Your ass is in the jackpot.
Yeah, dude. You better stay out of the.
I would love to discuss this with Coach Brands.
Dude, he said he's dead to me.
Well,
He said no life. It's just what he said. No, it wasn't like that. It was just what you saw at the press conference. It was funny. Kurt Jones bets money that Nomad could hit a switch on me. I think that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's happened.
That's the way it
for
goes.
Sure.
I'll take him down. He hits a reversal. It's the worst wrestling.
You guys reverse each other a lot.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of emotions.
Man,
It's Traub Furman-esque the exchanges we encounter.
the when Fittery was there, after that we're going live, and
That sounds
I was
awesome.
no not Fittery with the
well.
kids, and no, that was bad. He was nice about it. But like I was like trying to pull guys in, and I had about 20 reps on the shoulder, and then it was just like whoop.
Uh-oh. Is it still bad?
Yeah.
Your
But it
shoulder-
doesn't. But it's because my mom was asking me. She's like, "Why don't you?" I was like, "Because it doesn't affect my normal life. It's just sometimes when I go wrestle, I can't like get extended on shots more than 20 times."
You can't St. John or McDonough
Yeah.
anymore. Kill me.
Speaking of Brendan Furman, yesterday he tweeted, "I can't imagine DeSanto doing homework."
Jeez.
I can.
I just thought that was a funny tweet.
That is a funny tweet. Wow. No, he's the full package. All right. Anything else before we get out of here?
So we're gonna cover CKLV tomorrow because we're all gonna be en route to Vegas.
I want to do something Thursday. But
Ken, it just has to be there.
You
Yeah,
guys should do something from Vegas boys.
yeah. I'm mad Bratke's not going. I mean, Bratke shouldn't go, but normally you're a Vegas boy.
I know. I've been there the past few years. It's pretty fun.
It's all right. We're at Vegas like 4 times a year, unfortunately.
Last year, Sebastian Rivera became a star. Honestly,
That happened.
Like that.
I
was,
remember
like,
coming
his-
back from the
He
interview
yelled
and
at
being
Gerard
like,
Garnett.
you guys are gonna love this.
That was his big
Yeah.
breakout thing. Yeah, he yelled at Gerard Garnett. He got up in Brent Fleetwood's face. He had that insane match with Ronnie Bresser, and then he dropped an incredible interview.
Yes.
And it took off from there. So it seems like Vegas always kind of has one of those breakout
I know.
stars.
I'm sad he won't be there, but but I'm sure he'll be in some very competitive bouts at the Puerto Rican trials. I'm sure he'll be equally tested.
Will there be anyone in his bracket, or
Who's
does he
gonna-
just have to show up? Is it one?
Whether there's someone in his bracket or not, all he has to do is show up because
Yeah.
he could drill his way to this team.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be some amount of people there. I mean, it's like us, right? The U.S. Open's open, and there are guys that show up that aren't necessarily. You'll have 64 guys in the bracket, and there's 12 who are actually Division I guys.
Jordan Burroughs is wrestling roofers.
You always
Get
say
this roofer
that.
off the mat. They are roofers. They have the belts with a hammer in it. They have to take it off. Right, they're on the mat drilling, and there's hammers and there's measuring tapes, and they have to take it off.
The officials say no
They're
weapons
like,
on the
so-
mat.
Take off the belt.
But I just had this thought: Sebastian Rivera should have to go to Pan Am Olympic qualifier. Mm-hmm. That is the week in between conferences and NCAAs. So does that increase the likelihood that he goes 133?
Yes.
I would say it decreases.
You could say the other way because
He
he
needs to
has
stay
to
light.
stay little. Yeah.
Well, that's a fun 3 weeks. I don't know. I guess he did it all last year too.
Yeah, I think he needs to be a 25-pounder.
Thick bass.
Thick bass. What did we say
Plus
on
size.
social?
Plus size.
sea bass.
He loved it.
Oh, yeah. He's glad yeah, some people get mad over things that are just jokes.
He's got a good sense of humor.
He does. He's great. All right. We calling it?
Yeah.
Time of death,
Dump it.
9:25 a.m. Deep in the heart of Texas. Caleb, feel free to play us out. Spade dropped a classic Vegas Boys gif of Kyle giving him the bird at CKLB last
I
year.
love that picture.
Very
2 years
inappropriate.
ago.
I forget why. But we thank you guys so much for listening to 434 episodes of Flow Wrestling Radio Live. Big things coming for this show, by the way.
So what are we gonna do in Vegas if we do it? Because we should preview tomorrow regularly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Who knows? Maybe we'll have coaches sit next to us and talk
I was
to
going to
us
say,
for
you
a little
guys
bit.
should just sit in the arena and kind of do it NCAA style. You just talk about what you're
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
because teams are going to be in there
That's probably the move.
warming up.
Chris Bono can do his little Banaka spray plug. Remember
We
That
learned.
was
We
really
learned.
funny. Oh, that was Midlands.
Yeah.
We learned a few years ago that Zahid's really good at whatever
Football.
game they play. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Bro.
kinda
It
like-
wasn't with the football. It was but he's like Randy Moss, just sticks a hand up.
That was not fair.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
I
like.
think we might have posted it.
Yeah, no, we did.
Now I gotta find it.
It's like the old Randy Moss when he puts a hand up, it's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with Zahid. It's kind of like that in his matches too. Interestingly.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. Full CKLV heat coming at you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thanks.